population has changed significantly throughout history. With the changing ages and eras, there has been differences in the way people live, work, and collect resources. Today, we will be discussing how the world population has changed over the years, and how that change is seen in different countries. Now, as we saw in a diagram of the world population growth, we concluded that population growth was sluggish until the 1500s. From there onwards, population growth was extremely rapid. Demographers estimated that it took until 1650 for the population to reach just 500 million. Then, after only 150 years later, the population celebrated its billionth child. Thereafter, it took 130 years to get to 2 billion, 30 years to get to 3, 14 years to get to 4, and so on. However, in recent years, we have seen a slight drop in population growth. Between 2009 and 2016, there has been a drop in the annual growth rate of about 0.1%, meaning that although population is increasing, the rate of increase is dropping. To understand why all of this has happened, we would have to go all the way back to prehistoric times. Back when cavemen and dinosaurs roamed the earth, the human world population was very low, with about 5 million people alive in 10,000 BC. Since there was no medicine, no education, no metal shelter from animals, the death rate was high. However, since there was also no contraception and no objective law, the birth rate was also high. Therefore, population change was close to zero. This was predominantly the same in the Stone Ages in 3300 BC, where both death and birth rates were high. Fast forward to the 5th century AD in the Middle Ages, which lasted until the 1500s. Within that time, population change fluctuated between increasing and decreasing, as birth and death rates changed constantly. For starters, with the rise in agriculture and farming, people began to live longer and have more children, leading to high birth rates. However, medicine and hygiene were at an all-time low, and the rise in the Black Plague, which killed almost half of Europe, caused the death rates to rise. Soon after came the agricultural and industrial revolution in North America and Europe, between the 1700s and 1950. In this era, population rose significantly due to the rise in machinery and technology. Farmers were able to produce more crop yield using fewer workers, leading to nutritious diets and less funding. In that era, having 10 children was common as countries became more prosperous. Also, as the Second World War ended, although population did drop while soldiers left for duty, it quickly rose after the war when those soldiers went back home, naming that era the population explosion. Furthermore, death rates dropped significantly as medicine, healthcare, and water sanitation improved. From the late 20th century onwards, population began to decline, particularly due to MEDC women. As women took up most of the job during the Second World War, more women began to elevate their education to become employable. Women began having children late in order to focus on their careers, leading to a lower birth rate. Moreover, most couples began reducing the number of children they had to have a better standard of living, as children were expensive. Life expectancy also began to rise, meaning that there were more elderly people than young children, leading to high death rates. In all, population change since the 20th century has been increasing. However, it is like to start decreasing due to the birth rates dropping. Now, these changes in population have predominantly come from MEDCs, as poorer countries have taken longer to reach the Industrial Revolution. Consequently, some countries are either behind in development or do not follow the trend of population growth as that of Europe and North America. Therefore, in the next video, we will understand how and why demographers created what is known as the demographic transition model to help us understand the changes in population.